What's going on, YouTube? Come back at you with another video. Okay, so this is interesting. A lot of people speculating over Nipsey Hussle's last tweet. What did he mean? Who was he talking about? I've heard a lot of names thrown up in the mix. Well, this man is claiming this last tweet was about him. I'm gonna read you everything he said. This is important. He said, "Ain't no secret who this last tweet was for. I was that enemy you tweeted about, but we was strong enough to be the first to do it, and you said it's going to take someone strong enough to stand under the ridicule of what we conceived at the table. Rest heavenly, black man." I'm not going to read all those names. "We traded jewels. Bro, I'm honored. Thanks for all you did for our peoples, and you Judas, Pontius, Pilate type dudes, our ancestors that stood and died for something, got you in the afterlife. Certain people stand for something, and he stood for change. We exchanged the CPF 60 at the door. But funny how God works. Put us both in a vulnerable setting with the daughter and lady present to see if we was ready for change. My dude, you shook my hand and stared at the Malcolm portrait on my arm for 5 minutes saying, 'Bro, I need you. I've been waiting on you.' The woman, when you left, said, 'I felt like I just witnessed two kings at a sit down. That was some powerful shit y'all was on. The whole place was leaning toward us on God.' You said, 'I have no energy for negative shit and conflicts. It's bigger.' Damn, bro, you told me more than three times. I've been waiting on you. God aligned us yesterday, hours before this tragedy. In that handshake for 5 minutes, you fed me that message that was unspoken, but the look in the eyes, we knew what must be done, and only dudes who know what it means to be a martyr need to stand beside us in these times. Black lives won't matter to them till it matters to us first. Rest in peace, Nip. On families, it was love and colossal respects, King." So he put this up. Apparently, he is recently released out of prison. He potentially could have been one of Nipsey's biggest enemies. They were doing something, apparently, as in coming together and trying to put any hood beef behind them to push this whole thing forward. And unfortunately, Nipsey was taken out before they had the opportunity. I think that this probably is what it is. I think that he really is the person Nipsey was tweeting about. It makes perfect sense. I'm going to read to you this other post too. He said, Nip's last tweet, "But Satan at work early, woke up to this. Black people beware, these agent provocateurs are amongst us, slithering and whispering to the hearts of the weak and misguided. Burdens of betrayal weigh heavy on my soul. Where life has no value, death has its price. That's tatted in my flesh. Malcolm X in my flesh. When you see what me and Nip seen at the table, you move different, think different, stop playing with your life. Pray more, tweet less, rebuke you, Satan." So this person, and I wanted to address this. This is the only reason I'm showing you this part of it. I've been noticing this a lot. First of all, I already know about agents and provocateurs and disinformation and misinformation, all that kind of stuff. With this whole Nipsey Hussle tragedy, I've been seeing a lot of what seems like just straight disinformation coming out. And people nowadays are not intelligent enough to realize what's going on, and they pick it up and they run with it. I've seen all kinds of names get thrown up into this. Basically, people slandered, you know, adding their name, saying that they had something to do with this with absolutely no proof. It's a real dangerous game people are playing out there. You don't just take people's names and just throw them up and stuff like this with absolutely no proof. Like, that's not how it works. Be real careful of what you believe and what you see out here right now. It really does seem like there's a campaign out there with this whole Nipsey Hussle situation to divide people. And don't let that happen to you. Do not be one of those people who falls into the disinformation or, you know, the agents out here that are working. Because trust me, they're working. They're working overtime right now to stop and put a halt to any movement or any traction that Nipsey Hussle had as far as getting this gang violence down. So be real careful out there. Be real mindful of what you're listening to, who you're listening to. Don't believe anything that's not factual, and just let Nipsey rest in peace. Stop throwing people's names up in this and accusing them of having something to do with it with absolutely no proof. It's wrong and it needs to stop. Let me know what you guys think, though. I really honestly believe this is the answer to the final tweet. This was who the final tweet was about. Him and Nipsey were enemies, and strong enemies at that. He was a strong enemy at that, and he was willing to come to the table with Nipsey. They were trying to do something major, try to do something that's never been done before, and I believe that's what Nipsey was talking about. So it makes sense. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, though. I appreciate you. Like, subscribe, share, all that. Peace.